Government of India, a member of the International Sugar Organization and the Indian Sugar Mills Association, collaborated to conduct the first edition of the India Sugar and Bioenergy Conference 2023. The conference brought together experts from the Government of India and experienced and renowned personalities from the sugar industry and trade, the biofuels industry and all allied industries under one roof on the 21st of September 2023 at JW Marriott, Aerocity, New Delhi. The inaugural session was kick-started by Aditya Jhunjhunwala, President of ISMA, who spoke about India securing its position on the globe's foremost sugar producer and consumer, while also ranking as the second largest sugar exporter.
I'm really excited in the sugar sector currently because there's so much happening in the sector. Initially we were only on the sugar side and there will be so much cyclic which is happening in the system. But now because we are getting into the bioenergy fields, there's a lot of scope to be done. Like I'm happy that we have achieved 12% blending and we are still hopeful to achieve 20% blending by the 2025. Apart from that, we are also pitching with this conference that we are having, an ISMA ISO conference. We are looking forward to new technologies, interaction with different kinds of the people from the world, how when we can adopt, how can we improve and be more efficient in all the fields.
He was followed by a speech from the chief guest for the session, His Excellency Kenneth Da Nobrega, Brazilian Ambassador to India.
Brazil stands ready to share its experience, its success story in terms of producing ethanol at competitive prices and creating wealth in its agricultural sector on the basis of producing ethanol. We are ready to share our experience and also our technology.
Shri Sanjeev Chopra, Secretary, Ministry of Food and Public Distribution, took the conference forward and mentioned that India is actively contributing to bioenergy initiatives, striving to foster a more eco-friendly and sustainable future.
The Indian sugar industry has seen a roller coaster kind of a ride over the past couple of decades, and there's more down than up. However, what has happened in the past few years has really energized this sector, and having joined this position about 9-10 months back and having got the opportunity of working in this policy space for the past 10 months, I feel extremely fortunate to be working in this sector at this point in time. In fact, we were calculating that beginning 2013 to 2021, about 18,000 crores were given by the Union government to the sugar industry in one way or the other to clear the cane dues, to modernize the sugar plants. The Sugar Development Fund was meant for that purpose, to subsidize exports.
Jose Orive, Executive Director of International Sugar Organization, concluded the inaugural session with a vote of thanks.
I think India's leadership position is unquestionable, and I think that you are going about it in a very visionary way. At one point, India was all about volume. Now you see quality, you see technology on the field, you see mills not even touching the water from rivers with a circular economy, so that's to be applauded.
Yes, sir, and definitely, sir, just as you said that Brazil is currently the largest exporter, and how do you make sure that we are collaborating with the both countries in a way that the productivity is not affected because of this?
That is something that we strive to do. ISO was created to run and intervene the markets. We are prohibited from doing anything commercial, anything trade, or any intervention in markets since 1979. We encourage people to work together. We think that by joining hands and by unifying efforts, we will have better conditions for all of us, and I think the world of today's sugar evidences that.
The first panel discussion was conducted on the global sugar supply and demand fluctuation in response to factors like weather conditions, consumption trends, and trade dynamics, impacting sugar prices and market stability by esteemed panelists from all around the globe. While the second session witnessed the distinguished speaker, Shri Kamran Rizvi, Secretary, Ministry of Heavy Industries, who spoke on how the future of mobility envisions sustainable, interconnected and autonomous transportation systems.
We have decided that we will cut our carbon emissions by 45%, carbon intensity by 45%, and we will reduce our carbon emissions by 1 million tons by 2030. And by 2070, we intend to become a zero carbon economy. Recently in the G20 summit, I was happy to learn that we have started something called a global Biofuel Alliance, in which ethanol will be one of the major constituents. All the government agencies, producers, manufacturers, associations shall come together.
Roshan Lal Tamak, Executive Director and CEO, DCM Shriram Limited, shared some of his valuable insights.
This India Sugar and Bioenergy Conference is being held in collaboration with all stakeholders. As you know that during recent years, Indian sugar sector has transitioned from sugar to bioenergy sector. Now our endeavor is that how can we improve the productivity of sugarcane and sugar in collaboration with various research institutes, and by providing necessary education and training to our sugarcane growers so that they can adopt better practices. Besides this, we shall also be discussing the various technologies in the space of bioenergy so that the whole sector is benefited out of that.
The conference concluded with a felicitation ceremony for all the chief guests.